Mic check. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Let me make sure everything is running right here. Welcome everyone. Let me check on some stuff here. Testing, testing. Let me check on some things here. Not showing. Testing, testing. Oh, okay, I see. It's unlisted. Public. Done. Save. It's testing, testing, testing. There we go. Had a little glitch there. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Everything working? Welcome everyone. Had a little glitch there for the stream, but I believe I got it now. How's the audio? Sounds good, David Irwin. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. Hey, Gene. Okay, now we got him in the room. Okay, yeah, I had a glitch with the stream there, but I figured it out. Welcome back, everyone. Another episode of Golf Cart Garage. I am Tim, in case you're new. I hope everybody's been checking the website because there's been lots of changes, lots of new excitement. It's an ongoing thing, so if you have not been, you need to check the website every day. Go to golfcartgarage.com for announcements of different things that are going on. One of the main things that has happened recently, I think I talked about this last week, is that the Gearheads on Demand service where you can schedule a call with me is now free. So if you would like to schedule a call with me and talk with me one-on-one about some of your golf cart issues, you can. Just go to the website. You'll find it'll be the same thumbnail. It's on the home page. Scroll down to the bottom and just say talk to a mechanic on the phone. It'll be my picture. Then you can click on it and it'll show the open time slots. They're only available on Wednesday at this point. Open time slots are on Wednesday, but hopefully in the future there will be more available. Now this Wednesday we got some testing to do, so there's a limited time slots available. But hopefully there will be more and more time slots available in the future. But for now, it is free. On Wednesdays, there are some time slots available. So check that out if you need to, or you can come here every Tuesday. You can come here every Taco Tuesday, and if you can get your question in and you know how to type pretty good, I'll get to your question here. Or if I don't know the answer, someone in the room will. Rusty Brinkley, what's up, Rusty Brinkley? David Irwin, Joe Foster. Thank you, sir. Gene Hansen, what's going on, Gene? Hello from the Villages, William Rizzo. What's going on, William Rizzo? It is Taco Tuesday. Greetings from Barth, Florida, Stephen Kuhn. Harry Fike, hello from Zolfo Springs, Florida. Big Frank, what's up, Big Frank? Louis Borghese, good afternoon, Tim from Kissimmee, Florida. Hey, Louis. This is Golf Cart Garage making some announcements in the chat here. Very excited to announce that the owner This is one of the announcements I was going to make today. If I was supposed to, I didn't know if it was supposed to be a surprise or not, but this is the owner probably typing this right here. Very excited to announce that the owner of Eco Battery, now I'm talking about the owner of Eco Battery, will be joining me and you guys on the show next week. Hold on just a second. We have decided that we are going to start having guests on the show. We're going to try, we got to do some testing tomorrow about the split screen and you know, we're using this software, but that's why you're going to have to come back next week and check it out and see if we accomplish what we want to do. But we're going to have a guest next week, and he is the owner of Eco Battery. And we already have other guests booked already. I mean, so we're really going into this. It is going to be pretty cool. Rich Eastman, hello from Machapongo, Virginia. Helpless Garage, hey, it's cloudy 72 in Cabot. Yeah, I like it outside right now. I like it outside right now here in Arkansas, in central Arkansas. This is definitely fall weather. I think fall has become, as I've gotten older, I think fall has become my favorite season. William Rizzo says thumbs up. Let's see, golf, this is another announcement. In December, we are going to have the CEO of Nivelle. I don't know how many of you know what Nivelle is. Nivelle is the largest golf cart parts supplier in the world. And we're so after we get the owner of Eco Battery on here next week, I think it's the first week in December, December the 9th, we have the CEO of Nivelle booked. So hopefully our testing tomorrow with the split screen and everything goes off without a hitch, and we get this figured out. So we are going to start having guests. So who knows? You never know who it's going to be. So you got to come back and check it out. I'll announce it, but next week is the owner of Eco Battery. So if anybody has any lithium related questions or something, that would, the man, it's going to be the man. He's going to be here, Eco Battery. Joe Foster, 61 in Kings Mountain, North Carolina. David Earn, please give Tim a like. Thank you, David. Benny Russell, hey guys. Benny Higgins, hi, and new to the channel. How do you send a question to get an answer to? Well, Billy, you can type it here. I try to read everything in the chat, and then other people that are in the chat, they also get to read it. So if I don't know, someone might. So you can type it here, or you can book a call with me. You go to golfcartgarage.com. You can actually schedule a phone call with me, and I'll call you at one of the time slots if you would like. So that's two ways to do it, and they're both free. That's the new and exciting part. Kirk says it looks like summer's back in Florida, here in Bradenton, hot. Yeah, you had to freeze and now you're back in the 80s. That is crazy, isn't it? Hello everyone, Larry England, what's going on? Easy come, easy go. Hey Tim, watching from my golf cart garage. Hey, well, that's cool, man. Yep. I think one of Big Mike sent me a picture. He watches from his garage. He's got a big screen TV in his garage, and he watches it from there too. Benny Russell, Athens, Alabama, 70 degrees. Bob Lewis says, hello all. About a week ago, we broke a record low. Tomorrow we'll break a record high. Now that is crazy. Yeah, that is crazy because Bob, that's South Alabama, Bob Lewis, right? Helpless Garage, let's see. Jerry Kelly, what's going on, Jerry Kelly? Galactic Technologies, hey Daniel. William Flowers, morning from South Alabama. Eric Boucher, it is just cold. Helpless, I love the guest concept. It will be even greater the next 2 weeks. Yep, that's going to be good. It's going to be interesting. The new owner is really wanting to carry this momentum out. So we're not going anywhere. In fact, we are expanding. Oh, and I even have I was hoping it was going to arrive today, but it didn't. I've got a new wireless mic coming in. So hopefully some of my audio problems, I can get that cured with my new wireless mic. It was supposed to be here before today, but now it looks like it's not going to arrive till tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. Greg Elliott, thumbs up on guest appearances. Yes, sir. We are going to start having guests on the show. And it's because of you guys, too. I mean, it's because you guys come here every week. I mean, obviously we wouldn't have a guest if there wasn't going to be an audience. So it's going to be nice. Mike Irvin, hello Tim, 52 and raining in Southwest Indiana. Galactic Technologies, Daniel, how you doing, Tim? I'm doing good, man, doing good. And happy to say that Dino's still doing pretty good. He's still hanging in there. He's having some issues though, but you know, he's still able to get around. George Bremer, hi Tim from Sebastian, Florida. What's going on, George? Bob Lewis, Southeast Alabama, yes, 27. We could go 83 tomorrow. That is crazy. Yeah, that is crazy. That is really crazy. It was 27. That cold front dipped down all the way to there, huh? I saw it on the extended forecast that where it was going to dip down to, and I knew it was going to hit Florida even. But I didn't think about you in South Alabama. Okay, this is Tuesday, the 18th of November, if you didn't know that already, and we are live on YouTube. William Rizzo, I'm glad to hire Dino, doing okay. At this time, he's doing okay. He's doing okay. He's not doing great, but he's doing okay. I don't know, you know, it's when you get to a certain age and it's kind of a day-by-day thing. Well, it's still sort of a day-by-day thing with him, but he's doing okay. We're doing all we can. My wife's doing all she can to keep him going and making sure his quality of life is good. And he can still walk, and he loves going on a walk. Even in his condition now, he loves walking. Okay. All of these links, these social media links are cool. That in case you wanted to follow, give us a thumbs up, by the way. Give us a like and a thumbs up on YouTube. And here's the other social media links that you can follow us on. But please follow us on YouTube and Facebook. Give us a thumbs up and a like. That all helps. Rusty Brinkley, Tim, I have a question for the room. I have a fleet of 72 club car precedents. Oh my. I used to have a fleet of 54. I had 54 at my main golf course. And looking for the most economical way to clean weathered windshields, and also what do most use for bumpers and trim. All right, Rusty's asking the room, 72 club car precedents, and he needs the most economical way to clean those windshields, those plastic kind of plastic windshields, and the bumpers and trim. So there's going to be, I'm sure there's going to be lots of ideas in the room. So just watch the chat there, Rusty. I've got some ideas myself. The bumpers and trim, you know, anything that's like back to black, anything that brings back the black, I would use on that, because that really makes them stand out. But as far as those windshields go, I would like to hear what people say about that. Galactic Technologies got down to 29 here last, and the Arctic Blast is scheduled for Thanksgiving time here. Okay, cool. Greg Elliott says use spray away. I don't know if I've ever heard of that one. Spray away. Huh, that's interesting. I have a 22, Billy Higgins, 22 club car. If I use it every day, no problem. If I set a couple of days, I go and it's nothing. Does not move, or in reverse does not beep. The battery voltage is 50 plus VDC. Well, that sounds normal at 50 plus VDC. Just when it does not go anywhere, are you still showing 50 plus VDC? When it does not go anywhere would be my question, Billy. My first question. 2022 club car, if you use it every day, there's no problem. If it sets a couple of days and I go to use it, nothing, does not move. Well, I know that a lot of club cars will go to sleep and you have to tap the accelerator pedal a couple of times. I'm assuming that you did that. You have to tap the accelerator pedal a couple of times to kind of wake them up before the solenoid will click. You get everything ready for winter, Tim? Yes. Oh, yeah, everything. Yep, we're good to go here, because it's coming. There's no doubt about it. It is definitely coming. Bruce, hello from Westfield, Wisconsin. What's going on, Bruce? Billy Higgins says, yes, if I take off the positive cable and put it back on, then it's like new again. Huh, you got something going to sleep. It's not waking back up like it's supposed to. Because they will go to sleep and it takes a couple of presses of the accelerator pedal and that will wake them up. But if you take the positive cable off, have you tried other things like just turning the run tow switch to tow and putting it back in run and seeing if that will help? Greg Elliott says spray away is a glass polish. Okay, that's cool. Louis Borghese, for the bumpers and trim, put a spreader tip on a propane torch and pass over the black plastic. Brings out all the black and last. Be careful not to melt the plastic. I've seen people do that, Louis, but I don't know if that'd be a good idea at a golf course with 75 cars, though, to pull out fire. That might be dangerous, but or 72, whatever he said he had there. He's looking for a quick and easy way to clean multiple cars. Rich Eastman, my 2018 club car seems to go to sleep and does not wake up after a few accelerator taps. My 2006 doesn't do that. Oh, okay. The only difference between your 2018 and a 2006 is that the 2006 has an onboard computer. The 2018 seems to go to sleep. Okay, so that one does not have an onboard computer. So that may be the difference there. I didn't remember that part. If it was onboard computer related, but the difference between those two cars is the only thing really is onboard computer. Pledge spray on my windshield and on my motorcycle. Fire sounds like fun. I've seen people using that propane torch technique for sure, and it does work. It does work if you do it correctly. It's kind of amazing, when you find somebody that actually knows how to do it real good. There's people on YouTube. I've seen YouTube videos of it. Okay, I'll get started with some of these regular questions. We use a product called Black Again. It works very well. Yeah, that's what I was saying. There's a lot of stuff out there called Back to Black. There's all kinds of products that you just rub on and it conditions the black, trim, all the plastic black, and you can even use it on your tires. I've got a bunch of it here, but they all say something. They all have the word black on the bottle. There's lots of different products like that. Billy Higgins says, I now flip the run tow switch and that solved the problem. I'm saying from chemicals from McGuire's to restore black plastic. Yeah, Billy, you got something going to sleep that's not waking back up like it should. Did you tell me what car you got back here? Let me look. Yeah, 2022. So that's not an onboard computer, but you've got something. The only thing that it could be, since your car is not an onboard computer car, you got a controller that's going to sleep and it's not waking back up. Now, that should show up some type of fault for sure. You might have a good candidate, in case anybody else has any ideas on Billy's issue here, that might be a good candidate to have Club Car plug in their computer and see what fault is showing up, because you've got some kind of fault showing up after it sits. Where did I lose this? Let's see. We use a product called Black Again. Now he flips. Okay, Kirk says, I've seen some chemicals from McGuire's Restore. Okay, Rich Eastman. OBC is gone. I think the difference is the different Curtis controllers. IQ versus Excel. Okay, I got you. So your 2006 doesn't have an OBC in it because it's been removed. So the difference is going to be just the controllers. That's what I was saying for his issue. Sounds like, since he does not have a OBC that could be going to sleep, I would think that the only thing left is going to be a controller issue that's going to sleep. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I've heard a lot of complaints about the Excel, by the way, Rich. I've talked to a lot of people on the phone, and they have issues with Excel. Way more so than IQ systems. Okay, there's my question. See what that looks like on screen. Let me get to these regular questions for a little bit. Number one is from Glenn. I have a club car, year 2000 club car. Okay, my question is, the wires coming from the battery going to the switch get really hot in a short period of time, and you can smell it. All right, well, that's not good. It is the same gauge wires that have always been on it. I was wondering if that could be the motor windings. If so, how could I check to see if that's... Probably not, Glenn. If you've got wires coming from your battery going to the switch, and if you're talking about your forward and reverse switch, then that means that you have a series wound car. And you're talking about the big wires that are going to the switch. Very, very likely that you either have a bad wire that has gotten hot too many times and it's just going to continue to get worse and worse and worse. So you're going to have to, at the least, change that wire. Change that wire out. Put a same gauge back on it. It's not your wire gauge that's the problem. You've got a problem somewhere else. Change the wire, but it could also be your forward and reverse assembly. It wouldn't be unusual at all for a 25-year-old golf cart, series wound 25-year-old golf cart, to need a whole new forward and reverse assembly. That would not be unusual at all. So that could be where your resistance is happening that's causing heat. Mike, good afternoon, Tim. What's going on, Mike? Gary England, hello everybody. George Bremer, what is the brand low-cost lithium that you are testing in your car? The one that I am testing in my car is it's either pronounced Li-Time or Li-Time. And we don't sell that at Golf Cart Garage. This is something that I bought myself, and I'm just doing some testing on it. One of the members turned me on to it, and the price was just too good to not at least test it out, because I needed one anyway. But it's either pronounced Li-Time or Li-Time. Keith Pope, hey Tim. Keith from Palmetto checking in. What's going on, Keith? Thank you for joining us. I don't know if you saw the announcement, Keith, before you got in. We're going to start having guests on Golf Cart Garage. In fact, next week, the owner of Eco Battery is going to be on the show with us. And we're going to try to get him on split screen. I don't know if he's going to be on split screen or just be in chat or what. So we're going to do some testing tomorrow to see what we can do. But in case you didn't see that earlier, we are going to start having guests. We've already got 2 booked. Just the one next week is the owner of Eco Battery. Okay. Number 2. This is from Paul. I have a 64 Easy Go 36-volt 3-wheeler. I replaced the batteries with Trojans and bought one of those small smart chargers. Here is the nut. I rarely use it for more than 10 to 15 minutes at a time. So far, I've been plugging in the charger when I put it away. Is that good or bad practice? That's fine. If you bought a smart charger, then it's going to realize that where your batteries are as soon as it gets plugged in and runs for a few minutes, and it's not going to overcharge your car. Let's see. I rarely use it. I replace the batteries with Trojans. You're talking about lead acid Trojans. Okay. As long as their smart charger is designed for a lead acid pack and it goes into, if it shuts off or goes into float mode, well, if it's a smart charger, I'm assuming that it's going to do all that stuff. So it's perfectly fine, for plugging it in. Now, you don't have to do that every time, when you just use your cart for 10 or 15 minutes. But golf cart batteries, especially Trojan lead acid, like to be fully charged at all times, so it's not going to hurt anything. They would rather be fully charged. Willie Higgins, okay, thanks. I had talked to another guy buying some cart having the same problem. He told me about switching it to run tow, what he is doing. We'll look at taking it in, would like to increase the speed. Well, there you go. If you're going to need to take it in to increase your speed anyway, then they're going to have to program that in with the same computer that they could look at your fault codes with. Kirk says, when are we going to meet your wife? That's funny, Kirk, because I told her that when I found out that we were going to start having guests, and the CEO of Novell and the owner of Eco Battery, and there's other guests that are trying to get booked also. I said, who knows, you might even have to come on to the air one day and be a guest. I don't know if she liked that idea or not. Kevin Salyer, good afternoon. Sneaking in late. What's up, Kevin? She does, Kirk. She definitely helps me with the program. She definitely helps me when we give away stuff or give away swag and stuff. So I'll see if I can talk her into it. She's probably listening right now. Okay, switch to camera, Joe Foster. Number 3. Number 3 is from Joe. Last spring, I converted my 36-volt EasyGo cart to a lithium battery. Now that the weather is getting cold, I have put the cart in my garage. I know the battery has gone to sleep. Do I need to charge the battery during the winter periodically? It was charged to 100% when I put it in for the winter. That's going to be that's a common question when people get lithium, because well, people don't forget that stuff about lithium, and charging in freezing weather. They don't let that go. I'll remember that about lithium and cold weather, because I get that all the time. So it's actually going to be a brand specific question. The company that makes your battery, or whoever the manufacturer is, they're probably going to want to know, well, how cold does it get in your garage? Before I answer that question. And they may say, well, it's got a built-in heater, so don't worry about it. It just depends on the battery itself. Like some heaters are self-warming, so none of that matters. You don't got to worry about that with a Tesla. What degree it is outside when you go to charge. And it's because they got a self-warming system. So I'm sure that some of the lithium batteries do. Now maybe all of them don't. That's why I say it's a brand specific question. And we will talk about that with our guest next week. We will talk to him about that, about the freezing conditions in Eco Battery, and we'll get it straight from the owner's mouth. That'll be a question that we will ask him if when that happens. No, it's not a Hawk, Mike. It's a Versus Kawasaki. I know what you mean by Hawk, though. Very similar, but that's a Kawasaki Versus 300. That's one of my gravel road machines. I moved my golf carts out because I was using them. I got my golf cart in the other garage at the house because I was getting ready to use it for something. But this weather, changing is definitely my motorcycle time. I got to change the oil in that. That's why it's out. I'm getting ready to do an oil change on it for this fall season. Larry Consley, late again. Hello from Southern Indiana. What's going on, Larry Consley? Bruce says you can get a heated battery from Eco Battery now. Well, there you go. That's what that'll be one of the questions. If some of the people at Golf Cart Garage are probably trying to figure out, what kind of questions, that we need to ask. That's going to be a good question. We will definitely ask him about that. Number 4. Number 4 is from Dennis. Have an 89 Marathon with the Robin 3 PG engine. I have gas leaking from the vent. I was told by the previous owner that the carb and fuel pump were new. I bought another new one and the same issue. It would not leak while on the jack stands, only while driving. I have checked the compression about 122. Against my better judgment, I ordered another new carb, number 3, and I'm just having a hard time accepting that 2 new carbs both have stuck floats or something. But maybe the third time is the charm. What's next? Thanks so much. I'm sure a lot of people in the room would know what my question is going to be, what my first question would be on trying to help this person. I would be asking, where are you getting these carbs from and how much did they cost? That'd be my first question, because I don't think that it would be unusual at all to get 2 carbs at the needle and seat nowadays from Amazon. I don't think it'd be unusual at all to get 2 carbs in a row that the needle and seat doesn't work correctly. I don't think that would be unusual nowadays. There's so much very inexpensive and basically junk on Amazon, that's a common occurrence. Like I said, I talk to people all the time that have gone down that road. It's a hit and miss situation when you go down that road. That's why we're excited here also at Golf Cart Garage because of some of the latest announcements that we have made that we now have access to E-Z-GO and Club Car OEM parts if you want. We have access to both. You know, we can go with an aftermarket, or if you want to, you can get E-Z-GO and OEM parts now from Golf Cart Garage. Mike says, had that happen with my pressure washer carb. There you go. Yeah, I know it happens. I talk to people all the time, you know, that they say that that's what happened to them. Kirk Bauer says, the Amazon devil strikes again. Yep. Chineseium. Yep, that is true. So I wouldn't be surprised if you had two in a row that did that. A carburetor with a needle and seat and a float bolt system is a relatively simple device, but the little moving parts have to work correctly. They have to work correctly, or it's not going to work. It's just going to cause you a headache. I mean, I've received some parts before from there, for, you know, because I punked out on the price, you know, and just the price was just too good to be true, so I ordered it, which like a lot of people do, and they were so cheap or so inexpensive and so cheaply made that they were basically non-functional part. I mean, that's how bad they are. Now, when a part becomes non-functional, I shouldn't have to pay for it. You should be giving that to me for free. If it's a non-functional part, you should pay me to take it. So yeah, they can cause a lot of problems. Louis Borghese says the best carbs are from HIPA carburetors. I've used many of them. Well, that's good to know. I mean, if you have any aftermarket carburetor recommendations, please feel free to share it with the group, because that way, if you are on Amazon and you are trying to get a replacement for something like that, then at least you have some alternatives. But like I said, we have access now at Golf Cart Garage. We have access to OEM stuff if you want it. And when you're saying, let's see, what was it, number 4? Yeah, you have gas coming out of the vent. I'm assuming you're talking about the overflow tube. Well, right there in your description, that's going to be a needle and seat issue. Because you wouldn't have gas coming out of the overflow tube if your carb wasn't continuously filling up the bowl, you know, the bowl overflowing. And if you've got gas coming out of there, then you probably have gas going down in your crankcase too. Number 5. William Flowers, would it be possible to use lapping compound like a valve and lap the needle and seat on the Chinese carb? Well, that's exactly what you would need to do, but you're talking about such a small space. I don't know if that would even be possible or not. But yeah, that's what you would need to do. You would have to have something, maybe you mount it on a drill, and very soft, very the correct taper. I mean, you're going to have the exact taper, and you can't go too far or you're going to ruin the whole thing, you know. So it's going to be a it would be a precise set of tools needed. But yeah, it would have to be something like that, William, for sure. Mike says get OEM. Yep, that's always a choice now. You know, and I like the fact that I have access to that now. I didn't always have as much access to that as I do now, but I've got access to it all now. So I can tell customers that if they choose to, they can always go OEM, and I like that fact that we can tell them that. You could try a Cat D overhaul kit. Number 5, I think, is where we're at. Oh, not a Cat D, a carb. You meant to say carb. I got you. Yeah, they make carb overhaul kits. You know that could possibly solve an issue like that for sure. Number 5 is from Corey. I just picked up this cart with a 244cc Robin engine a few days ago, and I've been trying to work out the kinks. I plugged the oil injection and mixed a synthetic 2-stroke premix 75-1. That's fine. I also soldered a loose wire back together, changed the spark plug. I had it running today, but it was blowing some smoke when it was at full throttle. Is this normal? After it sat for a few hours, I couldn't get it to start again. Not sure if I have the fuel line completely free of air or if the fuel pump is even working. Is there a way to test this? Should try to take apart the car for cleaning. Or is that potentially more trouble than it's worth, possibly damaging parts? This is from Corey. Well, the first thing you need to do, you need to understand that the most common thing in older 2-strokes, the most common thing that could cause you problems like that is crank seals. You got one on each side of the crank. You got to take the flywheel off. You got to take the clutch off. It's a big deal to replace your crank seals. You know, if you've never done anything like that before, it's very possible that you could be leaking through the crank seals. It's causing you a lot of problems. Okay, if it's not the crank seals, if you just wanted me to answer your question about your fuel pump, all you got to do to test your fuel pump really is pull the fuel line off the carburetor. Put your car on jack stands, put it up, get your rear wheels off the ground, and spin the car over. Put your foot on the accelerator pedal and spin the motor over, and there should be fuel that pumps out of that hose. You know, the fuel line for the carburetor. If it does, you know you're getting fuel to the carburetor. Then you check your plug and see if your plug is wet. Then you know you're getting fuel through the carburetor. So if that's the case, then you could be needing to check for spark. Because you got to have 3 things: compression, spark, and fuel. Rich says, if the seat is metal, not a plastic insert, I've heard of guys using toothpaste and a Q-tip. That's a good idea. So that's what I'm talking about. It's going to have to be some light stuff. The needle end is usually rubber, so it would not allow a lapping. Yeah, the needle end, right. But if the needle is rubber, then the seat should be metal. Yeah. Might need new piston and rings. William must be talking about the question I did. Yeah, that is very possible. You got to have, so you need to check your compression, you know, fuel and spark. Number 6, that's just from Buddy. Reed valve. I think that is what you call the thing under the pipe that the carb attaches to on an 86 2 cycle. I'm doing a complete rebuild. Do I need to replace this or just clean it up? Looks a little burnt. Buddy, I think I know what you're talking about, buddy. It sounds like you're talking about a 2-stroke G1, a Yamaha G1, and that is not called a Reed valve. That's not a Reed valve. That is a butterfly valve in the exhaust system on a stock G1. All right, it is strictly there to keep the cart as quiet as possible. You have to understand in 1979, when the Yamaha Gas G1 came out, that was some high-tech stuff in 1979 when they first came out. It was quiet, it was powerful, and then it ended up lasting for years and years and years. Because I have one. That's why I feel like I know what you're describing there. You're talking about the butterfly valve in the exhaust that connects to the carburetor and the accelerator. When you have it on the floor, the butterfly valve is open. When you back off, it starts closing. Therefore, it quietens the car down. It makes it quieter, you know, as you're letting off. A good running stock G1 with that butterfly valve in place is very quiet for a gas car, and that's one of the main reasons. And you said it looks burnt. Well, that would be normal because all the exhaust gases are passing and hitting it all the time. So it being burnt or looking burnt, that would be quite normal. Now, do you need it on there? No, you don't need that on there. You could completely remove it if you wanted to. It's just your car's going to be just a little bit louder than normal. I've run one before without it. I couldn't really tell that much of a difference. So don't think it's going to go from being quiet to extremely loud without it. It's not that big a difference, but it was just little things like that that Yamaha tried to do when they first came out with the G1. That's very impressive to all mechanics that work on golf cars or that have worked on many. I don't think that you're going to find one that says, oh, those are junk. Yamaha G1s, gas, they're not junk. They're far from junk. Number 7. This is from Jerry M. I just got a used 98 Club Car DS, 88, I'm sorry. I put a long travel front and the springs in the rear. When I drive it, it feels like choke is stuck on. Half the air filter canister is gone. 88 Club Car DS. So is that going to be a 2-stroke 88? What did I say about that one? Well, if it's a 4-stroke in an 88, I'm not sure. I can't remember. But anyway, you put a lift on. So did it run correct before the lift? Would be my first question. And if it did run correct before the lift, check the oil because your lift kit may have changed the angle of the engine a little bit. There's some gas lift kits, they didn't really take that under consideration enough, and it changes the angle of the engine. Therefore, there's the oil on the stick the engine's going to think that it's overfilled with oil, and you might have some oil get in spaces that you're not supposed to, and that could cause it to run bad. So that would be my first question, to try to figure that out. I've heard a lot of people, or read about a lot of people, and talked to a lot of people where they literally, after their lift kit on a gas golf cart, they had to remove a recommended amount of oil. They had to remove a little bit out because it was getting in places that it shouldn't, and because of the engine angle change that the lift kit caused. Howie Peach, 43 in Ontario, Canada. What's going on, Howie Peach? Thank you for stopping by, man. I don't know if you were here in the beginning, Howie Peach, but we're going to start having guests on this show. Next week is the owner of Eco Battery will be on this show with us. So I don't know if you were here in the beginning and saw that or not, or where we made that announcement. Easy come, easy go. Hey, Tim, I received my swag last Tuesday. Thanks a bunch. All right, cool. Thank you for telling me. Easy come, easy go. Thank you for letting me know that. I like to hear that people received them. And in fact, is there anyone in here that has not received their swag? If so, let me know that too. Let me know in the chat, and I'll write it down and check on it for you. Because I will get it on the way. Or I'll try to anyway. I'll check on it and see if there was a holdup of some kind. Like I said, lots of changes going on with the company right now, so there could easily be a holdup. Things could slip through the cracks. So if anyone is missing their swag that is a winner, let me know. Big Mike, sorry I'm late. Happy result birthday, Tim. Oh, early birthday. Oh, how do you know it's my birthday? Tomorrow. Is it on Facebook or something? That is correct. It is my birthday tomorrow. William Rizzo says his was Saturday. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you, sir. Mike, thank you, Mike. Rich Eastman, I'm missing my swag. Oh, wait, I never won. Oh, now don't tell me that now. You're going to get me confused if you say you're missing your swag. Joe Foster, Tim, I have yet to receive mine. Joe Foster. Do you mean that you have yet to win, Joe Foster, or did you actually win? I'll have to look at my sheet. Funny enough, I actually remembered. Big Mike. Okay, cool. Thank you, Mike. MI6, Irvin, and Kurt. Oh, you won last week, Joe. Okay, cool. Well, I will check on it, Joe, but I'm sure it's coming. But it's just like I said last week. We had a lot of stuff going on. I still have all your information. I just didn't remember if that was you that I talked to last week. But yeah, I still got everything, and it's on the way. It's just might be a little delay because of a lot of changes. Yep, my wife just texted me and said that you won last week. So it's probably just a little bit late, Joe, but I will check on it and make sure. Okay, run before the lift. Okay, number 8. From Jeff, number 8. Is it normal to have to use the engine choke all the time? It seems more and more lately I have to use the choke to get my motor running. Not sure what motor I have. Well, I would have to know a couple of things. The first thing I'd want to know is 2-stroke or 4-stroke. How old a golf cart are we talking about? Because if it's a 2-stroke, that is a classic sign of your crank seals leaking. Because what you're doing, when you pull the choke, is you're shutting off air, which causes your car to pump more fuel. It forces it to pump more fuel when you choke it. All right. If your crank seals are leaking, it is counterproductive what you're trying to accomplish, because your crank seals are leaking air and you're choking off air, and it screws everything up. So that would, in a 2-stroke, that would be very common to have to hold the choke, and the car runs better, with the choke out, because you're compensating for a leak is what you're doing. Mike, congratulations, Joe. Yeah, that Joe won last week. He sure did. Joe Foster, happy birthday. Thank you, sir. Greg Elliott, happy birthday. Thank you, Greg. Oh yeah, Mike. Smoke test the seals. There you go. We talked about that. Somebody said something about that. I'd completely forgot about the smoke test. I hadn't had to do one in so long. But that's how you find that kind of stuff, or this one way to find that kind of stuff. You can actually spray on a 2-stroke. If the car will crank, you can spray around the seal with something flammable, like WD-40 or something, and see if the RPMs change. If they do, you got a leaking seal right there. Uh, but yeah, you could smoke test. It would be the smoke coming out of there. There's little bitty smoke machines that that'll pump in a certain psi, and wherever the smoke comes out, you got a leak. I don't even have one of those smoke machines, but I've seen them many times. But I never really had to do that. I never had to get down to the point where I was trying to find the leak with smoke. But it is a good idea. And if I was still working on golf carts actively, I would probably have one. Number 9. This is from Richard. Does the regen braking/charging system on an RX-V cause any issues with an aftermarket lithium conversion? Thanks. Actually, I think that is an excellent question. Uh, what the deal is, what he's asking, is from Richard, is regenerative braking system when you, on an RX-V or any car, when you put a aftermarket lithium battery in there, aftermarket lithium batteries are very specific on how they want you to charge their battery. All right. So when you let off the gas, that battery is going to sense that it's being charged. Now there's a BMS on board, all lithium batteries as far as I know, that all of them have a BMS on board, and it's supposed to be in charge of either blocking that incoming charge or allowing it, safely. So again, it's going to be a battery manufacturer specific question. If when someone sells you a lithium battery, one of the questions they should be asking you is this a regenerative braking card or is it not? That should be a question that they ask you if that's a problem. If it's not a problem, then maybe they don't need to ask that question at all. So anyway, that would be just to make sure that your ducks are in a row when you go lithium. Make sure you ask that question, to what company it is. And we are going to definitely ask that question to the owner of Eco Battery when he is on here next week. We will ask that question too. So if anybody is taking notes on a couple of questions that need to be asked, there's another one. How are your batteries affected by regenerative braking cars? And what was the other question we needed to ask him? Oh, temperature. We want to ask about the temperature thing and the self-heating battery. We want to ask about that. So that's two questions that we need to ask about. Smoke. Mike says if you owned a BMW, you would have one of those smoke machines. Remember, friends do let acid. Okay. Number 10. That's the last question, guys. 2002 electric club car IQ. And see, when I was talking earlier and I said that I had a fleet of 54, I had a fleet of 54 2002 electric club car IQs. That's what I had. It was my main golf course that I was taking care of for years. Everything works fine except there's no braking when I go down a hill. The person I bought it from has never used it on a golf course. He had it at the lake for local transportation. My question is, can that feature be turned off or deselected in the computer? I have read that if the region system is working, you should hear a solenoid click when the key is on and you move the switch from tow to run. When I do this, I do not hear anything clicking. Is there any way I can check this or change the setting myself? On a 2002 IQ, Bobby, in order to adjust your regenerative braking, you are going to, if it's a stock 2002 IQ, you're going to have the special the special computer, not onboard computer, sorry. It's the special computer programmer that Club Car has, all right? They can adjust your regenerative braking. Now, can it be completely eliminated? I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know if it can be completely eliminated or not. But they can adjust it to the least amount, if that's what you want, or they can increase it. Don't worry about the solenoid clicking stuff until you get that figured out, until you get your regenerative braking where you want it. I can tell you this, when it's all the way wide open, your regenerative braking, you won't like it. Very few people have their car set to max regen because when you let off the gas, it literally almost throws you through the windshield. So all the way is going to definitely be way too much. But I'm not sure if you can actually 100% eliminate it or if you can eliminate it by about 90%. That might be why you're thinking your car doesn't have it on at all. Big Mike, I want to ask him about the safety and fire concerns and what they've done to improve things. Good idea. Yep. Another thing, we'll ask him about safety, fire, charging, below freezing, all the questions that come up. That come up over and over again. My 2018 club car still has a regen, and I added a lithium battery. I've noticed that it only puts about 6 to 8 amps back into the battery under regen. I'm guessing it's okay since the battery can accept up to 100 amps. There you go. Maybe that's the answer. Maybe that's the technical answer. But I don't think that that's going to be the case with all lithium batteries, But we will find out about Eco next episode. All right, let's see, that was the last regular question, wasn't it, guys? Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah, that was the last regular question. So I think we're about to get out of here. Let me see here what we got. Rich Eastman said I had speed code 4 programmed, but forgot to ask about killing the region. Yep, I've got a controller in my desk down here. Speed code 4 programmed would be perfect for anybody with an IQ with already has speed code 4 in it, and I do not know where the region is set on speed code 4. I'm assuming that speed code 4 itself probably knocks out a whole lot of the region, if not all of it. Lithium doesn't like any water. What do you mean there, Mike? Mike, you mean they're not waterproof? Is that what you're getting at? Thanks for everyone's help today, and happy birthday, Tim. Thank you, Rusty. Later, good people. Remember, we do have Golf Cart Garage hat. Oh, Kirk said, I got you, Mike. Now I see it. I had missed it. Kirk said, I've heard lithium does not like salt water. Well, if you put them on I know this, if you put a bunch of lithium cars on a cargo ship and waves come over the top, apparently they don't like salt water, if that's what you're talking about. Yeah. That cargo ship full of lithium cars, full of electric cars caught on fire. David Irwin, happy birthday, Tim. Thank you, sir. What was I going to say here? Stephen Cunning, happy birthday. Thank you, Stephen. Oh yeah, I showed the hat graphic. You know, we still have some Golf Cart Garage hats that you could purchase if you would like. We do give hats away on this episode occasionally. We got some other things going on for the next few episodes with like guests and stuff, but we will get back to giving away hats. I never know when we're going to do that. We might even, I believe I heard a rumor that we may even get some new camo hats in the next batch of hats. I get so many comments about the camouflage hat that I have that I only did for myself, but I get so many comments about that those may be in the new batch when we replenish inventory for some of the hat giveaways. So we'll see how that goes. Let's see. I do not have an active coupon right now. I do not have any pictures for today. Here's one of the email addresses for golfcartgarage.com. This is the support email address. You can send your questions there. If you need to get it to me, you can also use that email address and say "Attention Tim," and someone will make sure I get it. There's the phone number. And if you want to send an email with some pictures of your golf carts or something like that, then there's my email address on the screen, 00timfreeman@gmail.com. Please send me some pictures and I'll feature them here like I normally do. I'll leave that up there. I'll leave that email up there. Mike, will the Golf Cart Garage name stay? Yes, it will, Mike. Next week should be battery giveaway day. Well, hey, we are going to have the owner. So if everything works out with the testing tomorrow, we're going to do some testing. We're actually going to have the owner. So we'll see what he says. You know, he's going to be here. Sir Walter, okay. David Irwin, maybe the battery guy will give you a free one to test. There you go. There you go. There you go. Might be a good marketing move. Okay. Hot wires, we talked about that. Hats, coupon, contact, and we talked about OEM parts. Yes, we do have availability now for Club Car and E-Z-Go OEM parts. And we talked about the fact that we're going to start having guests, and we talked about our guests for next week. So I will see everybody then. Come back next week and check it out. We're going to do some testing tomorrow. Hopefully that goes off without a hitch. Come back next week and we'll see how that goes. And if that goes well, then there will be many more to come. All right, thank you guys. I appreciate every one of you for coming here and keeping this going. We're going to keep going. We're going to do the best we can. Get that oil change and go for a birthday ride. I might do that, Mike. Today is a nice day. I'll see everybody next week. Garage is now closed.